Hey, what is going on, guys? LightToDark here, and welcome to Sepia's Tears. It's a visual novel, and I actually have played this game before. In fact, I've finished it, hence why this is unlocked. Sorry, but I haven't done all the options because this is a visual novel, meaning that there are choices to make. Depending on how effective they are to the story, depends. Anyways, I'll be doing this day by day, as this does go in days as chapters. So yeah, let's get right into it. You've heard of the mayfly, right? It's one of those odd winter days when the snow is falling but it isn't cold. Either late November or the beginning of December, right around the time when the dollar stores start playing the Christmas music and the couples go skating. One of those odd winter evenings, the same old 3 o'clock PM through the lens of the classroom window. I'll describe the muted texture of the lights through the glass, but it's become all too familiar. I'd be raving about the miracle of flowers blooming in the spring. The novelty's gone. Chairs screech against the tiled floor and students chatter all around. But the sounds fall on me, weightless. The mayfly, the bug that lives for only a day once it grows its wings. A great metaphor. You must have seen it before. My mind wanders sometimes. Like being stuck in a room with the TV set to local news, almost muted but not quite. Like reading a boring webpage because you're too lazy to click away. Having a voice in your head that won't shut up. It used to bother me, but now I can handle it. Listen to music on the way home, play a video game before you go to bed. Kill the time in any way you can, and it won't be so loud. Ever wonder why they even bother? It's simple, really. You pick up your books, stand up, put your gloves, put on your gloves as you walk through the early winter chill. Get home, make a snack, relax, and the process repeats itself. Life is the easiest thing in the world when you think about it. Sometimes memories resurface, a horrible red-brown that encroaches on my vision, creeping from a box locked safely away. Sometimes with the dialogue of the chat, it will copy, so just as a heads up, so if I copy myself, don't worry about it. Just because like it'll flip over instead of adding more to the thing, the chat. Oh, cold. I hadn't noticed it before. It looks like it's snowing. Was I out for that long? I was walking home from school a moment ago, I'm sure. Or is this a dream? That makes sense. Then why am I wearing my school uniform and why is my wallet in my pocket? Well, that doesn't prove anything. But might as well roll with it. It's seriously pitch black in here. It's seriously pitch black here. I can make out the snowflakes just fine, but nothing seems to be lighting them. Better start moving before I freeze to death. Ah, that light, it's... You've come. You? Thank you for coming to see me. Lonely here, you know. Lonely. Yeah, I can't deny that. Peaceful prison, trapped in the darkness under the soft snowfall, but it's a prison. What's the matter? Aren't you glad to see me? It looks familiar, I'm sure of it. Memory teases me like a vivid lucid dream, but I can't grab hold of it. It's been such a long time. I thought you would have been ecstatic. I open my mouth, but the words are lost. The more I search for the memory, the more her eyes bewitch me. As snowflakes land on the girl's hair, I force the first words out of my mouth. Who are you? Do you really not remember me? What a shame. We have so much to catch up on. I was confident, mysterious, somewhat between angelic and doll-like. There's nothing to worry about. After all, we have all the time in the world. So then, who are you? Look me in the eyes and my heart stops. I'm the person you wish you've never met. He embraces me and my senses freeze. Into a colour strikes my eyes again. The monochrome backdrop. Hanging in the stillness, a red ribbon drifts from the side of her hair. And on the inside of that ribbon, something is written. But just as fantastic as that is the fact that words are scrambled, blurred, even though my eyes are only inches from it. That ribbon, don't you remember? It was yours. Her voice fades away. I glance at the ribbon again, but before I can move closer, my stomach flips upside down. But what? Girl's warmth fades from my arms. Is he disappearing? Oh well it is. A knife pierces my heart as I realize something. It's not the world that's disappearing. Me. That was the prologue. I will do day 1. Yeah. Oni-chan? Oni-chan, are you up? That sounds familiar. Mark, we're gonna be late. Are you even listening to me? Yeah, I heard you. Jeez, it wouldn't kill you to be a little more gentle. Gentle? But I'm your cute little sister, I'm automatically gentle. That's like saying I'm automatically dependable because I'm your older brother. Wait. See? If you're not the dependable sibling you're supposed to be, that gives me the legal rights to find new and exciting ways to tease you. And who wrote that law? More importantly, I have a history test tomorrow. This morning. More importantly, I have a history test this morning, so I'll leave behind if I have to. Counting my diligently evil little sister runs down the stairs. Can't you find a more normal form of torture? Bright out. Pleasantly bright. You get lost just looking at the pale blue sky, although I fear that the cold accompanies it. See, this is why I hate winter. Nature has no mercy for the northern hemisphere. Actually, that does make a difference. Actually, does that make a difference? Technically, every country has to be a part of a hemisphere. But there must be warm regions in the northern hemisphere, and even so, the southern hemisphere would be. Mark, I've been working on my Rokuto Shinken, and I'm coming. The last time she tried this, I shudder to think of it. I'm pretty sure I know who my next practice subject will be if you make me fail my test. Isn't it usually practice partner but not practice subject? So we've got a very forceful sister? Forceful? That'd be the word. She's mean. Yeah, she's probably very mean. And I won't spoil anything. That's my sister, Rena. Since she started at my school, life has been hell. Or maybe that's an exaggeration. She's a nice girl and all. But she takes care of me, makes me lunch, forces me to buy her stuff. See what I mean? I'm out of compliments already. And that threat certainly wasn't the first. Ouch. Stupid razor. I was supposed to show me how to use this thing. Anyway, Brenya's a strange girl. To put it nicely, she always rattles on about these crazy robot wars and melodramatic love stories that she watches, trying to find new and exciting ways to pull me into her world. I haven't figured out why she calls me Oni-chan yet though. Is it ironic? Ironically unironic? Ironic because she thinks it's subtly ironically unironic? Oni concludes that it's the part of some devious scheme that I have yet to catch wind of. The tip of the iceberg, so to speak, if the iceberg was a blood-related little sister. But as much as I'd like to criticize her, I can't complain. She does better than me at school. Alright, I'm almost done. Oh, and also she does a better job of cooking and budgeting than me. And she never sleeps in, and only time she's late for classes when I hold her back. Now do you see why my life is hell with her? I mean, I don't know. Bye-bye. Good morning, did you sleep well? I slept perfectly fine until I was woken by a certain someone. How could you say that? How could you say that? You should be thankful to have a cute girl like me wake you up every morning. You're not supposed to call yourself cute. That because we're blood related and you're a fro. That's not why. I mean, it's a little vain, don't you think? And it's not very cute. True. What if I'm only doing it to unnerve you? Good point. Be right back, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back now. I had to run a little errand quickly. I have you to thank you. Well, I do have you to thank for keeping me on my toes all the time. You're like my mother is what I was meant to say. But I imagine her twitching smile and my life flashes before my eyes. Rin, you have a test this morning? Yep, I did a quick review with my friends yesterday, but I don't need to worry about it. I wasn't worried. Is that your way of hiding your affection? Is that even remotely implied? I'm sure you'll pass the test. I just want to make sure you don't forget anything and end up falling... I just want to make sure you don't forget anything and are not failing for some stupid reason. Like that time I accidentally brought my Game Boy instead of my calculator. I can't believe she brought a Game Boy instead of a calculator. Who accidentally picks up a Game Boy? In what way does it look like a calculator? Think, Rin. Think! Yes. Like that time. I was only 12. It was an innocent mistake. Only 12. Regardless, you get what I'm saying. Just don't screw up. I know I won't. Aren't your exams coming up as well? Uh-oh. I was going to go over to Lucas's house and study over the weekend. Or something like that. Even for you, that's a very convincing... That's not a very convincing lie. Psychic? I didn't make that one up on the spot. It wouldn't kill you to have a bit of faith in me. If I said I'll study. Really? You're gonna spend your whole Saturday afternoon doing math problems and rereading your social science notes? I'm tempted to say what notes, but that really isn't the problem here. Well, would you look at the time? Don't change the subject. We're already late. Well then, we'll have to continue at lunch, right, Oni-chan? That smell is so much more enduring before you get to know her. Made it. I leap past the front door as the clock strikes 8, inhaling a lungful of December air. Not bad, Mark? Not bad at all. So you're taking so long with your bag that I thought I'd really have to put the gloves on. I thought you were going to leave me if I took too long. I was only kidding. leave my only brother alone to walk to school on such a cold day? I couldn't. And yet you can practice your anime fighting techniques on me? Well, when you look at it that way, but you know, mastery of the martial arts can be extremely important. What does that have to do with anything? It's important, really. Yeah, I know. Self-defense and all that. No, not just self-defense, it's an extra weapon in your arsenal. What? Okay, picture this. Imagine that you're fighting against an enemy who already knows your techniques. And why would I be doing that? Because the person challenged you. Because he kidnapped the princess. Use your imagination. Or if the princess is another car, then you'll just have to go look for her. Ouch. Anyway, let's say you end up in combat with someone who knows that you're good with long-range weapons, like a crossbow. They already know your weakness. All they have to do is dash forward and fire at a closer range. The archer won't be able to react fast enough and the attacker will have the advantage. But what if you're using a mid-range weapon like a lance? A lance? That's easy. A well-trained warrior will be proficient with both bows and axes. And everyone knows that an axe beats the lance. True, but then you can just learn magic and attack from the distance? Yes, but what if your enemy knows that you're a magician? A skilled axe wielder would eliminate you with a single strike, no quickly necessary. Every magician needs an ace up his sleeve. And that ace is martial arts. That's one option. You see, magicians draw their power internally, and externally. Magic, unlike sorcery, flows through internal circuit before it can be used in the form of a spell. The use of these circuits can drain much of an amateur's magical energy, resulting in the weakness of the mage's combat ability. In this scenario, even though trained mages would be susceptible to the attacks of an ordinary human. More so if said human is skilled in hand-to-hand combat. Though it is an unlikely scenario, but it wouldn't be prudent for mages to. I don't think anyone would be able to use magic. Fire spell! Nah. It's an impossible ring. Don't get your hopes up. Enough with the info dumps. Fine, I don't need you. He taps the Twitter icon on her phone and runs away. Okay, I may have been a bit hard on her back there, but this isn't a bad outcome either. You'd think the streets would be a bit more busy in the morning, but no, everyone passes by here. It's hard to get used to if you're from the city, but I've lived in the suburbs my whole life and I like the peace and quiet. Nice, let your mind wander. Let your mind wander to things you'd rather avoid. Mark. Huh? What was that? Look around and momentarily spot a figure. But it disappears before my eyes. Strange. She looked familiar. Meh. Can't be that important. 2 weeks later, I would look back on that moment as the first in a series of very, very silly assumptions. Mark, you're actually early. A familiar voice welcomes me to the front from the cold. In front of me stands a young man that I've known since the beginning of high school, and that I'd sometimes wish I didn't know. On time is more like it. You have barely 5 minutes until the bell. That's still an accomplishment coming from you. Hey, did you bring your notes for the presentation? My other friend, Lillian, voices her question politely, unlike a certain little sister. Well, Rim was on the computer until midnight, and my laptop needed recharging, and your house was constructed without power outlets, of course. Fine, I'll print them out at lunch. There goes the bell. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm actually looking forward to the boring lecture if it means I can relax. The teacher's voice drones on and on, and on. I only know of one way to escape. Jumping out the window might have long-term consequences though, so I'll be content with staring through it. Whenever I'm bored at school, I always like looking at the weather and thinking about how I'd rather be anywhere but here. Although fortune has treated me with nothing but sadistic little sister and a pile of unfinished homework this morning, so maybe I'm better off in class after all. Mark. Am I hearing things? Mark. Just like this morning. Is this someone's stupid idea of a prank? I'm sure it's just kind of some kid with nothing better to do with their time, but I'm sure it's just some kid with nothing better to do with their time, but I can't forget that. Alright, I know what I have to do. Pinpointing the source of the sound, I spin around and glare at my target. It's not getting away this time. You look shocked, my buddy Lucas. And Zoe, sorry my buddy, considering that I've only known him for about 3 minutes into the game. Well, not into the game, like since we first ran into this guy. The class stares at me. Lucas turns around. I sit back down awkwardly. Lunch finally. No matter how many years pass, nothing beats the taste of cold meat and freedom. Quiet. Lucas sighs audibly and I follow. I still don't get how Ren can sacrifice her lunch break to study for a test when she hardly ever studies at home. Apart from the strangest thing she's done. Point taken. So how's that game I lent you? Alright. To be honest, I'm not really into those dating sims. They're not dating sims if they don't have statistics. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I'll check it out when I get home. Or when I get time. Right now, I'm busy with... I was about to say schoolwork. But that lie won't last a second. Stuff. Yeah, stuff. Mark, you do know what this means, don't you? I can really think I can see the sunlight glint off those glasses. It means that you have yet to experience some Japanese visual culture in its glory. Can you please shut up now? Surely you found yourself taking a peek at Ren's DVD collection at some point in the past 16 years. Haven't you ever felt disconnected with the path? Discontented with the path the story takes? I'll take that as a no. Protagonists always have plot armor in suspense stories, and the main heroine always wins in romances. Even aside from being dumbed down by the awkward transition between two inherently different mediums, don't you ever feel like the story isn't working? Doesn't it not feel like the main character is just a brainless idiot and that you could have done a much better job than him? Haven't you ever felt like that idiotic protag? Haven't you ever felt like giving that idiotic protag a punch in the face and telling him to choose the shy, innocent library girl over the deceitful Onea-chan Kara? You can't go on a date without thinking about her little brother. The statement may contain a slight amount of bias. At any rate, there's only one solution to problems like these. You play the game. I sense an evil chuckle as he finishes, as if he wants to add, and soon you'll be just like me. Well, like I said, we'll get to it eventually. Lucas kicks up his feet. Pretty good game though. The uniform kind of resembles ours, don't you think? Much I hate to admit it, he's right. It is infamous for its elaborate uniforms that don't match its academic reputation. That isn't going to make me play it any faster. Then I'll bother you every day until you do. Do you dare to underestimate my persistence? The bell signals at the end of lunch and we head to class. Away from each other, thankfully. I did it. Took a few years, but I did it. I made it back. And it won't be long before I talk to him again. Clock ticks in the background. Girl gazes pensively out the window. I'm getting nervous just thinking about it. Nervous and a little excited. It's been so long. What will I do if you changed? The whole plan would be pointless. I have to stay calm. Know what I'm doing, and I've thought it all through. Just stick to the script. But I'm nervous. So nervous. I like sunsets. I really do. I couldn't live without long walks on the beach, but sunsets, they're special. The shade doesn't have to make things less special. Not that it matters. Storybook romances stay in storybooks. It's just nice to catch a glimpse of stories sometimes. Be it's the MP3 shuffle gods granting divinely selected background music, or a perfect twilight after a day of rain. Phew. Thanks for the help. Don't worry about it. It's not like I have anything better to do. I slide down from the window sill, but my feet hesitate. Something about sorry about that again, guys. Something about the red tints of the classroom and Lillian's smile is discomforting. It's comforting and uncannily familiar. Does the school library always get this much work? I can't see why you ask for a hand. The library usually maintains itself with the help of the teachers. We just have some extra things to take care of before the end of the term. Or the end of the term. Paperwork mostly. Sounds tough. All work and no pay. Don't you mean play? Wait, you're getting paid? No, but well, there you go. Doing this one. Anyway, I was trying to say I don't mind the extra work. We help out because we want to, right? We help out because... So it's nice to have an extra pair of hands from time to time. Right. Besides, you always end up owing me favors. This is just one of them. Anyway, shall we head home? Yeah, let's go. I grab my bag and rush to hold the door. It'd be nice to stay back after school, can't it? On the occasion, the weather is nice today. I should have find something other than weather to comment on, but it's always cold in the winter, but it feels good when you're inside. Like looking in a snow globe. Does that make sense? Now that you mention it, I don't think it does. It made sense in my head. Don't worry about it. I know what you mean. Do you? I think. Well, couldn't have been that important, right? I suppose. Lillian smiles wearily about something and walks up ahead, frizzy hair lit by the sun. We walked alone for the next few minutes, and I tried to nonchalantly wave goodbye. I can't shake the feeling that something was off about her today. Maybe I'm imagining things thanks to that voice in my head. But she almost seemed as tense as me. I'd better head back before rain starts pouring. I turned to walk home, but Mark. Okay, that's it. The world isn't just normal today. Well, it's just isn't. I'm sorry. Mark. Getting to the bottom of this. Walk for a few seconds and pretend not to notice. Or spinning around. It's a girl. Stands out. Long purple hair, a red ribbon swaying in the breeze. She reappears in the alleyway to my left, and I see her lips move. Blow me. The minute I step towards her, she points to the right. It's the road that leads back to my school. Look back at her. Or at least I would have, had she not already disappeared. Arrogant? Alright. Now she's really done it. I'll run through this town all night if I have to. I'm messing with the wrong guy. I realize that the sky darkens and the clouds drift in. From time to time, I catch a glimpse of something. White out of the corner of my eye, but it disappears before I can identify it. She's deliberately dashing through the side streets and she seems to be exactly one street ahead. I gasp for a breath as I reach the school building. Bill stands daintily at its entrance. You, stop! She grins and runs inside. She has a graceful quality about her. I say run, but it's more like she's gliding. Of course that's not going to stop me. I catch a glimpse of her feet at the bottom of the staircase. The left hall. We're running out of places to run. Stairs? Again? No wait. These are the stairs to the roof. Why is this door unlocked in the first place? No matter, it's open now. The sky turned black before I realized it, and snow drifts cautiously down. The last piece of the puzzle falls into place. Purple head girl, the snow, the black sky. I saw it all in my dream. The girl looks at me from the edge of the roof. Thank you for following me here, Mark. How many things should I be yelling out of right now? But I can't. My mind isn't functioning like it should. Scattered images from a time I'd rather forget flash through it. First of all, let me apologize for luring you out like this. It was the only way I could talk to you alone. The steps closer. Of all the things I want to say, only one line comes out. Who are you? Don't worry yourself over minor details like that. You'll remember me soon enough. Soon enough? What kind of vague hint is that? The past will fall into place eventually. It has a habit of doing that. She pauses and looks up at the sky. Mary collects in her hair. You might not remember me yet, but I remember you. I've been waiting to see you for a long, long time. She points her eyes at me. I can't look away. Will you help me, Mark? Will you accompany me long enough for you to recover your memories? That's a strange request. My thoughts vanish. I nod unthinkingly. I will, but you owe me something first. Tell me your name. Feel I want before we even touch. She walks up to me and she pauses an inch away, breath turning to mist. Myra. I hear her name and a ribbon flows before me. The memories taunt me. I've never seen her. I've seen her. I've seen her. Seen this, but cold breeze strikes me as she steps back. I'll visit you someday soon. In the meantime, you ever need me, come to this rooftop by yourself when the sky turns black. If you call out to me, I'll come to you. What are you, a vampire? Maybe. A ghost? She smiles faintly. I'll leave that up to you. One by one, her footsteps grow distant. Well then, goodbye, my final words are lost as she steps off the edge of the roof. Wait, what's off the edge? What the? I dash to the edge of the roof as fast as I can and look down. But there's nothing. Not even a footprint in the freshly fallen snow. My head is spinning. I don't know what to think. I don't want to think. I don't want to. There. There, and it keeps coming back. I see her, and what was it she called herself? Person I wish I never met? Are you here to haunt me? Then why do I feel so? The girl in the sunset watches me. Like a figure in this faded photograph, she watches me. Like a portrait. Like yourself in a house of mirrors. Watching. Always watching. You just won't blink. All the while, the snow continues to fall. Myra's figure dances through my mind, trapping me somewhere between curiosity and awe. But it's the beginning of winter, as the snow dusts the city streets. Can't help imagining that her footprints will turn up very, very soon. Hey guys, that was day 1 and the prologue done. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please click the like button below as well as the subscribe button. I'm LightToDark and I'm out. See ya.